Welcome back to another top-notch video. Today we're going to be making the Dragonfly. Now this project is definitely a little harder than the project we had last week, but it is a fun project. A little more folds, a little more things involved. The time involved is a little bit more, I would say about a half hour to make this Dragonfly, just because there's a couple gluing, couple different times you have to glue it. So let's move right into what we need to do this Dragonfly. Some of the materials you're going to be needing today are your cutting board, some cardstock for the pattern, scissors or an X-Acto knife, Sharpie tool, writing utensils, a pencil and a marker, a cutting wheel for your folds, a ruler, and finally some construction paper at your local art store. Now, if at any point you guys think I'm going too quickly, just go ahead and pause the video and you'll be able to catch up pretty easily. Some of the things that we're going to start with to make this product is the note card. Now, it's important we start with a note card to get that pattern of the Dragonfly down. And it's also important that you have a note card because once you have that pattern, you always have that pattern, so you can make it over and over and over again. So to start, we're going to bring this Dragonfly up. And it's important that with the Dragonfly that we get some measurements down on what exactly we're looking at. So as you can see, my Dragonfly is not much more than just the size of the note card. It's not any bigger than that. And to give you some measurements, I'm looking at about 8 centimeters from the total length of the body all the way from the tail to the head. The wingspan from the body out is going to be about 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. Both wings are about 7 centimeters, I would say. The legs out are about 2 centimeters. The tail from the wingspan is going to be about 5 centimeters. Each wing is about 1 centimeter, I would say. And then the wings from the fold, which I'll go over later, are going to be about 5 to 6 centimeters. The bottom one's about 5, and the top one's about 6. So let's dive right into making this cutout. So when I like to make this cutout, I like to start from the bottom, or the tail. Now it's important that with making this, you're going to want to go just straight out and come back in. Like I said, it's only 1 centimeter, so it's kind of thin. And you just want to ruffle these edges just a little bit when making this pattern. Okay? And like I said, you want to come up to this point here, which is about, I would say 5.5 centimeters. And then you want to start going out to your wings. Now, with your wings, this is about 1 centimeter out. And then you want to come kind of dip into your wing and then dip out. Okay? As you can see, there's a kind of a dip there. And you just want to keep going across your wing. And you're going to slowly bring this up to make your wing less and less and less as you come out. Smaller, I'm sorry, smaller. And then you want to come to the top, and you want to bring it back down in. Okay, and the reason we do that is so we have room for the top wing. Now this is really important, this part here. You're going to want to make a kind of a space, sort of. It can be bigger or smaller. I like to have mine a little bit bigger. So as you can see, there's a space there, and then you're going to go into the second wing. Now the second wing it can either touch the bottom wing or it can have its own line. I'm drawing a little bit of my own line here. And you're going to want to bring this one up and come back down. And this wing is going to go all the way back into the body of your Dragonfly. And now with that, you're going to go into the legs. Now starting the legs, you're going to bring those all the way down. Now it's important with the legs, you can either have them pointed or rounded. Either one's fine. I've seen people do both, but it's very important that that first leg goes all the way close to the middle of the leg, and the second leg goes about to half. So as you can see, this one goes all the way down, and this one goes about halfway, and then that final leg is going to come all the way down. Now these are a little bit big. The smaller you make them, the harder it's going to be, but the more realistic of your dragonfly. You're going to bring these legs, like I said, 2 centimeters out is what the top one is. This one's about a centimeter and a half. And then you're going to go into your head. Now with the head, you're going to go out, kind of make a balloon type shape, and then make like almost like a nose of the dragonfly, and then bring that right back into your cardstock. So that's the pattern I have for the dragonfly. The next piece you're going to want to do is your folds. So I like to dot these lines, or just make them dotted. One of the lines is going to be from your wings to your legs. The other one's going to be from, the bottom of the wings to the legs. And then the other one's going to be from where the wings connect to this middle section here. You're going to have another fold there. 2 folds on the legs, one closer to the body up here, one farther away from the body out here. And then finally 2 folds on the wings. So I'm just going to make some lines here. And once again, we're making these all in pencil so that you can change or form if you don't like the way your wings look or the body looks, you can always go ahead and erase something and bring that back. I think this one turned out pretty well. And then you can always go over it again with Sharpie, like I did here, to give it a more defined outline of your pattern. Once you have your pattern, you're going to want to have to cut that out. Now you can use scissors for that, or if you're not as talented like I am, you can use your Sharpie tool or X-Acto knife. With your X-Acto knife, you're going to want to have to just go ahead and I start from the bottom, or actually, I'm sorry, I start from the legs here because they're a little bit more complex, and I always bring that Sharpie tool towards me, and you're just going to go ahead and cut that out. And I just rotate that note card towards me as I go. Give it some firm pressure, and you're just going to slowly cut everything out. Now, one of the biggest things you got to be very careful about is right in this area here, the legs from the first wing, and then very careful here with between the the different wings. So just be careful when you're cutting those areas out. And then it's also important that you do not cut the dotted lines, because those are folds, not to be cut at all on the dotted lines. But the solid lines are definitely meant to be cut out. Once you have all of that, you're going to come out with a cutout of your pattern, something like this. Okay? And as you can see, this one turned out pretty well. I think my legs turned out kind of a little bit long, but that's a pretty good cutout right there. Your next step is to grab your construction paper. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to have it here. And the biggest thing with your construction paper is you're going to want to make sure you just fold it and it's even. And once you have it folded and even, you're going to go ahead and just make this crease really good right here. You want to make sure this is a really good crease. Then you're going to want to bring your dragonfly pattern up, and you're going to set it on the construction paper with the body towards the fold. Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and outline that. And as I could say, you don't have to use the cardstock, but I like to, just because it makes it easier and you can use the cardstock over and over and over again. And you're just going to go over that same pattern pretty much of the dragonfly on your construction paper. Now I already did this, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. And once again, I did it with Sharpie markers, so it's more defined. This is what you're going to have right here. And as you can see, it's pretty hard to find, or it's very defined out, and I have my dotted lines here, 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 and on the wings here and here. And then I also need one right up here and right here. And those are going to be your folds. The next piece with the construction paper is cutting it out. Again, you can use the scissors or you can use a Sharpie tool. I'm going to use a Sharpie tool, and it's important that you cut away from the body and towards yourself, and then using a lot of pressure to do that so that you can get a really good, that it gets out on just not this side but also the other side of the construction paper. And once again, the legs are going to be your most delicate, and the smaller your legs, the more realistic, but the harder it is to get those punched out. And then also, the other really critical part is going to be this section right here, this little hole. It's hard to see here on the video, but it's right here. This little hole is going to be really interesting to cut out. Now you can have a large hole or a smaller hole depending on how big you made your wings. And then it's also important that you do not cut on the dotted lines because those are going to be your folds again. Once you have it all cut out, the product you're going to have is going to look something like this. Now I switched paper on you guys, so just be aware of that. But this is the product you're going to have. And once it's all cut out, it should just come out somewhat like that. Now you can discard this construction paper and you can move on. And this is where you can really get to see the magic start with your dragonfly. So as you can see, this is the dragonfly. What I did is, what you can do is you can go to the back side of your dragonfly, and I put the lines on the back side as well, as you can see here. And the lines for the wings go all the way up, and then you have the lines here for the legs to the body, and then the wings to the fold out there. So you have two on both sides, and then you have two up here for the legs, one here and one there. And so with those, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your pizza cutter and you're going to want to slowly but surely go along each of these creases a couple of times to make each one of those folds a little bit better. And with the wings, it's important that you do this on the opposite side of the dragonfly so that the wings crease downward. So as you can see, I'm going about this 3-4 times to get those really nice folds so that when I'm finished, it'll fold nice. Now I'm going to do the folds on the wings here and here, and on the legs here and here. And then on the opposite side, two on the legs and one here on the wings. One here on the wings. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see it just again. So as you can see here, I have lines that I want to cross here, 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 and here. And I did that on both sides. Now you can kind of see when I bring this dragonfly back in, the magic of it as I slowly push these. I'm going to push the first fold up, and I bring the second fold down, and as you can see, the dragonfly starts to come together there. Now it's important that we get the gluing in. So with the gluing, it's going to be two-step gluing, and the spots you want to glue first are going to be right here at the very end of the tail, just a very small spot, and right here on the head of your dragonfly, just a very small dab. Once you have those two dabs there, you're going to go ahead and you can close them up with a paper clip or a clothespin, and you just set those to dry from 10 to 20 minutes. Once those are dry, the second part of your gluing is going to be for your wings. The place you're going to want to glue is going to be here and here. Once you put a dab on the wings, you're going to go ahead and bring those up ever so slightly and nice. And then you're going to put your paper clip right there on your wings. Oops. 1 second. There we go. Right there on your wings. So that's what it's going to, you're going to fold it out just like that, and then that will have your wings set really, really nice. Give that about 20 minutes and it'll dry. And then the next piece you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your legs and fold those up to begin with. And then that second fold, fold them down. Just like that. And once you have that complete, it should look something like this. This is with all the glue complete of your dragonfly. and it looks something like this. With the legs, you can take those and move those to different lengths. If you did 4 legs, you can move them all over the place. It's kind of fun to mess around with it and make it look different. And then to give it that 3D effect, what you can do is you can take your finger and just ever so slightly, I would keep this spot where you have it glued on the head and just push it out here and just bend it down just a tad. Just slowly bend it and be very gentle. Be very, very gentle. And that'll give it that 3D effect of the body. And then if you set it down, that is the Dragonfly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoy making these videos, and I hope that maybe you'll join me next week. That's another top-notch video. And please like, share, or subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.